this thing around today?
Well, the team's just got a lot of fight and grit, and they believe in each other. And, Marshall, you're on the road at Marshall, and, you knew it was going to be a tough game. And Marshall had momentum in the first half and went in there at the locker room at halftime and regrouped and told each other we're going to go out there and do it. And we put the pedal to the metal, and it started with the defense. I mean, they got after them, and then offense got the big touchdown early, and then momentum swung our way, and it just stayed our way. And can't say enough about our staff and our players. It was just a great game all around.
What did you see from Marshall that was really holding Bailey and the offense back in the first half? And talk about adjustments, what did you specifically do to have that juggernaut of an onslaught that you had in the second half?
Well, I thought they did a really good job in their secondary covering us. They played some man coverage, and they were able to stop us. And, our offense staff did a great job of making adjustments where we could get off some of the press man coverage and, creating motions and stacks and different things, and that really played in our favor. And so, that's why you have halftime, is to go out there and make adjustment for this exact reason. So it was a great job by our staff during halftime.
It seemed like the moment that momentum changed was when D'Angelo Malone had that strip sack. How much did you see that kind of swinging the tides in this one?
Well, I tell you, there was two. One where we sacked their quarterback. He ends up getting hurt because he's a really good player. And then, we come back again and we were able to do it, and that was huge. But so many players made plays, and offensively we were able to create those explosive plays right out of the chute. Kind of took the air out of them a little bit, and defensively was just running on momentum the whole time. So just a lot of great things out there. I could talk about so many players, but just a great team effort.
Obviously the passing attack gets a lot of, attention with what you guys do, but running the ball today, your most successful day running the ball all year against the top scoring defense in CUSA. What do you think of those guys and how they were able to help you guys out when things maybe weren't going your way?
Well, we knew we had to run the football, because they were good in the secondary, and we knew, that they would give us a tough time. And so we made a point of emphasis, and it was a great job by our offensive line and our running backs. They did an outstanding job all game, and we really complimented each other, especially in the second half with the run game and the passing game. And, they had a hard time making adjustments once we got going.
You guys obviously have 2 more games left. It's the USA title game, which I'll ask about in a second, and the bowl game. But, 7-game winning streak now. A lot of different things going on, a lot of different games. But what is most impressive from this win streak that you saw out of today's game?
Just the character of our football team. They never blink, and we were down at halftime, and the guys, they knew what we needed to do, and they said, hey, we're going to go out there in the second half, we're going to have the pedal to the metal, we're going to go get it done, and they did. And just says a lot about the character of our team and the type of men that we have on this team.
And obviously you're not done this year yet, but through your first 3 years, you guys have closed the regular seasons really strong. What does that say about what you're able to do, or the teams that you've had here so far in these 3 years?
Well, it's not about me. It's about the team. Our guys, they're just great men. Our locker rooms, has a great culture. Our staff, our players are a direct reflection of our staff. They do such a great job in making sure our players are well trained, that they're good men, they do what they're supposed to do, and that's what you need, because it's a long season, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We talk about that all the time, and we've been able to finish strong in the past couple of years. And got one more to go. We got to finish strong.
I don't know if you saw, but UTSA got beat pretty bad against North Texas. You remember your game against them, almost won if it wasn't for that final drive. So seeing how formidable they are and how hot you guys are, I mean, how big of a game is that going to be for you guys next week?
Well, when you play championship games, records are out the window. It's for all the marbles, and they'll be motivated. We'll be motivated. Should be a great game. It's what you work so hard for. And they're an excellent football team, and we're an excellent football team. So it should be a great game next week.
Obviously you believed in it, or else you wouldn't have done it. But getting all these transfers in, I think 25% of your roster were incoming, college transfers. Now that it's paid off, I guess, looking back on all that, what was that like for you, and how much, are you happy with the way things have turned out with that?
Well, I'm really happy with the men that are on our team, and again, it goes back to our staff, and it starts with people first. You select good men that have a passion for winning, that they'll love the process. That's the one thing I thought about the transfer portal, especially during a COVID year. We were able to get good men on the roster that could help us immediately when we couldn't go out and recruit. And so we were able to check all the boxes, and the good Lord was looking after us, and I thought the pieces of the puzzle were there with the players that were already here, and then we added the guys that came in, and it's just been a match made in heaven. So yeah, it was a good move by our staff for sure.
You know, two guys specifically have been here longer than anyone else, D. Kane and Jeremy Darvin. They were the only two, I believe, that were on the roster, still on the roster when you guys last played, or the program last played in the CUSA championship game. You know, for those two guys who have stuck around all this time, you know, what do you think a moment like this means for them to have another shot at it?
Well, it's huge, especially your last year, you know, when you're a senior and it means so much to you, and you want to go out with, you know, with a big win, and, you know, hopefully we can do that next week and those guys can get that championship. But, you know, this game was big, and we're going to celebrate winning the East tonight, and they should be very, very proud. And then we'll get up in the morning, like I always say, go back to work.
You know, I know you said it's not about you, but what's this moment like for you as a coach personally?
Just very proud, again, of you know, I'm very blessed to be surrounded by staff and players and everybody that are just great people. They're passionate about WKU. They love WKU. Our fan base is tremendous who support us. And, you know, it just says a lot about our organization as a whole. And my job is just to make sure all the pieces are together that fit. And I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be a part of a staff that are just great people that get it done at the end of the day.
You know, I think the real question everybody wants to know the answer to, are you going to wear a cowboy hat and cowboy boots next week to Texas?
No, it's the old gray suit again, right off the Kohl's rack, like always.